Asteroid of fear.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Men of the House podcast and happy Father's Day. Happy belated Father's Day since you're getting this on Monday, but it is Father's Day here. I'm recording this on Father's Day, so welcome, welcome, welcome. And happy Father's Day to all my fathers out there. That's what we're going to talk about today. No laptop, no topics, no anything. No unfiltered thoughts. This will be, I don't know if it'll be tough, but right before this, I had a few tears in my eyes because I read my Father's Day card from my 11-year-old. Um, it was special. And my wife showed me a post. I haven't really been on social media today much, but she showed me a post that my daughter made, and it was beautiful. The card and the post, and um, yeah, I cried a little bit, and just because I love her and I'm proud of her. Um, she's 11 now, and she's turning into this thoughtful little person. I think as parents, we tell our kids things, we say things, and sometimes we think it goes in one ear and out the other, and oftentimes it does. But every once in a while, you get a little something that shows that that's not the case. That maybe they are listening, they are paying attention. And I think maybe that's the part that grabbed me a little bit and broke me down a little. That's okay. But speaking of Father's Day, sporting the new camo hat that my wife got me. I don't know if you can see it. It's camouflage. Get it? There you go. It's got the American flag on it. Yes, proud to be that. Wearing my favorite Scotty G shirt. Be authentic. They'll adjust. Just be. So yeah. Again, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. The most challenging and probably most important role you'll ever have. At least for me. That's the way I feel. Um, to me, it's, I don't know. It's taken very, very different turns. I mean, let's say my introduction to fatherhood, parenthood of any sorts was 19 years ago when my wife and I started dating. She had a 2 and 3-year-old who are now 22 and 21. And yeah, so for a long time it was them and sharing custody and different things like that. Um, so yeah, a little bit different. Um, Much younger. You could do a lot more. You could, yeah, burn it at both ends. But then I think my wife and I were together 6 or 7 years dating, and she thought I should have a child because I'm an only child. I don't have any siblings. She's like, "Who's going to take care of you when you get old?" I said, "Well, that's what they pay nurses for." I said, "Plus, I'm trading you in for a 20-year younger model 20 years from now." Not true. It was a joke. But yeah, that's kind of how I thought. I think I explained to you guys in the last episode that, I never really considered marriage and or children. And mostly because I don't think a very good example of it was displayed to me. Um, Maybe not necessarily. I don't want to say good or bad example. Let's just say from what I saw of it, it wasn't appealing to me. How about that? Yeah, I didn't want any part of it. But I said I do, and yeah, we made a concerted effort to get Prego, and here we are. um, but yeah, it's been different, because it was during that first year that now we had a newborn, and so there was this, I don't know necessarily a pressure, but I think my wife and I put in applications to. I was in my master's program. I put in applications to either be near my family or hers, and whoever came knocking, that's where we were going. And um, yeah, ours came knocking first. I was in grad school with a new 1 year old going into management. Um, but my wife was a stay at home mom, so that helped quite a bit because I was burning it at both ends between graduate school, a new management job with an urgent care at that time. So it was 7 days a week, uh, grad school, the whole nine. And weekends were often spent in the library all day, meeting up with my wife and daughter in the evening. But she required a lot less then. And then, of course, as we got older, I'm trying to think 5 years ago, so she was 6 when the pandemic happened. Yeah, so yeah, mm, have all these different thoughts, trying to figure out how to arrange them. Like different flashbacks pop into my head, but of thinking of how my fatherhood evolved, and um, yeah, so she was 6 when I got laid off. The next couple years were dicey. She was developing, she was in school. I was available more because I wasn't working, but I was still going through like pandemic shit, being laid off, identity crisis, that whole spiel of, you know, first job I'd ever been laid off of, or let go of in 12 or 15 years. Um, it was devastating. I didn't take it well. And I don't think I was a good father or a good husband. And that's why I changed. There were some events that I won't discuss that happened in between that kind of facilitated it. Um, but, at some point, I had to look in the mirror and go, "You're you're being a shitbag." Hmm. Yeah, you can hear the despair in my voice because that's that's what it was. It's a rough time. Nothing was going well. Nothing was working out. And yeah, there was a point in 2022 that it was yes or no. It was a time of there was a point where I didn't know if I was going to remain married. um, and that was hard. But the one thing, it was my daughter, Sophie, my youngest. Just did not want to be without her. Yeah, this is the one that made me cry. Yeah, there was just no way. I was at that time. No. So yeah, I had to figure some shit out. And I, man, I don't remember where I started, but it was somewhere between quitting alcohol, quitting antidepressants, all of that together, because none of it was doing me any good. Um, yeah, that was the start. Quitting that, stopping that, because I wasn't depressed, but I didn't feel shit either. And I knew I loved my wife and my daughter, but I never felt it. So yeah, once I got rid of that, which was rough and difficult. As a matter of fact, a week from now will be 2 years alcohol free for me. But it was kind of once that happened, you know, it was time to decide, okay, in trying to be a better man, better father, better husband, how am I going to approach this? Is it, clean up your act and go back to corporate? I think I tried that. I mean, I had some interviews. I interviewed for some prisons for Texas Department of Corrections to run their medical facilities. Turned down a job offer from them because I did not want to move my family to Beeville, Texas. Um, yeah, no art schools there. But yeah, so it was like this approach of, hey, am I gonna, kind of go back, be the dad, be the father, the family man, support your family, back to work, back to that environment. I think that's what kind of was the thought process, the expectation. And I gave it a go. Um, and I did have more interviews than Department of Corrections, but those are the most notable ones that were decent. Um, there was one here. They passed on me, and less than a year later, they're hiring for the same position. Dummies. But I'm kind of glad I didn't get it because I really didn't want to be that. Which brings me to this point was, you know, I was, it was like stopping the alcohol and the antidepressants was kind of step one of clearing my mind and then trying to get back into being the role of dad and husband provider and all that, steady corporate job, blah, blah, blah. Well, when that wasn't working out and I was applying back to my old company, my daughter's like, why don't you start a podcast? Do you really want 2 and 3 phone calls again? Yada, yada, yada. And that's where I started entertaining the idea. And then with support from my father, happy Father's Day, um, he said the same thing. He supported all the equipment to get me going. Um, my wife wasn't totally on board. I was Ubering, podcasting, or trying to start a podcast, and I'm still fumbling around a bit, still doubting, still not knowing. Um, this is episode 136, so I know coming up on 2 years. Yeah, this is what we're doing. But there was that point where she didn't really support it. I had doubts, and it was kind of a push pull. not very smooth flowing. But, part of this, as I'm Ubering, driving around, doing all this, and, you know, a couple of years have gone by, my daughter's progressed in school, and I start going. And I know I've told this before, but I always had this idea like, hey, I'm in management, I'm going to make director, and I'm going to make VP. And so if he's ready to go to college, if she wants to, let's say, go to NYU, I need to move to New York to be near her. I can. Um, or I can be able to work remotely and be available to her wherever she needs me to be. Um, because I've told you my dream is for us to travel in 3 years when she goes in ninth grade, but and podcast. But anyway, yeah, she was like, "Why don't you start a podcast?" It's kind of push pull. Wife was really supportive, and through this all, somewhere it dawned on me, just like hit me like, and I used to have this thought process long ago. Was like, people spend so much time reaching for the next rung on the ladder that they forget to enjoy the rung they're on or the view. You spend so much time going toward the top, but if you never reach the top, remember I worked at level 1 trauma center for 6 years, nights. Chicken today, feathers tomorrow. Your life can change, be the end, like that. I'm not saying it's not important to plan for 10 years from now or to think long term. But with some things, you have to think like, hey, you may never get there. Anything can happen. And so, in that thought process, for myself, it was like the time to be the father you want to be is now. Not when she goes to college, not when she graduates high school. Now, now. And the universe has blessed you with a layoff and a fresh start to do whatever you want. You've got a lot of skills. You know how to interview, you know how to speak, you know how to write, you hold people accountable, you do all kinds of stuff. But it was like about taking that idea and showing my wife and explaining, like, hey, yes, we have a little less in terms of monetary, material things. But with our new situation, familial configuration, her with her job and me doing what I do, I'm like, we actually have way more freedom. We're not that financially off the mark of where we were, per se. It's all relative. But what we have in return, the freedom, the not not worrying who's calling in, who's got PTO, who's going to get written up if you need to go pick your daughter up from school or she needs to stay home. And so, once I was able to kind of show that, point that out, and explain, she kind of got on board and became supportive, and momentum picked up. And here we are. And, this is something that, my vision board is 5 years from now is, hey, I'm traveling, interviewing people, seeing the country. My daughter's doing the social media, helping me record while simultaneously completing high school online. And, at some point, I would like to have our other daughters some way, some part, whether it's taking orders, shipping merch, um, which will eventually happen. I'd like to write a book. There's some other things, but yeah, I would like for it to be a family business. I would like to wake up and be every one of my family members every day. Have them come to an office, be available, be around me. To me, that's what being rich seems like. Yeah. To be able to take care of each other and have a family business, and that's what I want. That's what being a father means to me. Yes, I want to take care of them, but there's also the teaching part. One of the things that I never really learned was co-regulation and self-regulation. That's something I'm trying to teach my daughter. And I can tell by the words she's written to me that it's working. And that too was why I broke down a little bit. Being proud. Because all I want to do is hopefully raise good human beings. The older two, they're good humans. And that's all I want. I want them to be kind, caring, compassionate, to see past color, race, religion, and all that, and just see other people as human beings, treat them nice, give them a chance. Um, that's what I'm going for. That's the goal. It's tough. And I know a lot of it is me having to change and be the example. And yeah, that's the part that chokes me up a little bit. I knew my drinking was a problem. My daughter knew it was a problem. For her to be proud of me quitting means everything. But yeah, that's why I do this. Hopefully, somebody hears the words, conversation they need to hear. They understand that there's good humans out there, and I'm trying to raise good humans so they can go out in the world and try to make it a better place. Just like me. Not perfect, but trying with the little tools and gifts that I've been given, opportunities. So now I'll keep trying. I'm just going to keep showing up, and um, my time will come. Somebody will be like, "Oh, I know the guy for you. You need this?" Or, "Hey, I dig it. Come be a part of this." But it's going to have to be aligned. Um, a good company with good people. Um, Otherwise, you can Go down yonder, take a right, and fuck all the way off. uh, hmm. But anyhow, my call to action for all you fathers is take an assessment, look at your life. Um, what areas can you improve? Is there something that's detrimental? What example are you showing your kids? In the past 2 years since quitting drinking, losing 65 pounds, doing, being the example. And I think she sees that, and I think it was reflective in her message to me. And I'm proud of her. I'm proud of myself. And I challenge all you, take that inventory, see what you can stop that's not fucking serving you, that's not being a good example, and think about how much you're giving to the man. You know, I don't know. I understand you got to make ends meet, and I understand time is valuable, but I don't know. Maybe skip an overtime shift and spend a day with your kids. Nobody's going to remember how much fucking overtime you worked, except for them, because you were never there. Don't be that parent. You get one chance. Time is our most precious commodity. It's like a bank account that we can't see. You never know when it's going to hit zero. And when it does, you don't want to be saying, I wish I spent more time with my kids, but now I was too busy fucking working. For some asshole, for some company, didn't give two fucks about me or my family. Yeah, it's usually the case. That's the other thing. I want to do my own thing because if I ever employ people, I want to be able to treat them right and fair and good and make sure that they have a quality of life, that part of their family life is just as important. Because if that's right, they bring that to work, they bring that to your business, and your business thrives. Yeah. I think we've got it backwards and we got it all wrong. Listen to my last couple episodes. But I'm looking at what we've gotten wrong and I'm trying to reverse that and do it right. If I want to go back to steady fucking work, I'll go back when she turns 18 and has her own job and her own life. Right now, she's 11. And I want to spend every moment I can with her. I'm not going to let any company, any man, any woman, nobody tell me how much I can or can't, when I can or can't. No fucking thank you. I'm not asking for your permission. So, eat a dick. Yeah. See why I don't belong in the corporate workforce. uh, Potty mouth. Huh? Be authentic. They'll adjust. But you've seen how I can go from end to end. I'm passionate about this. I've shed a few tears. We've even laughed a little. But I am 100% serious on this topic of we don't need fucking strangers and teachers and other people raising our kids. If there's good teachers and stuff, yes, their input. Yes. Mentors and stuff, yes. What I'm saying is, fathers, parents, you need to figure out ways to spend more time with your kids, quality time. I need to do more. But other than the gym, which is how that ended my night last night and started my day today, it's just for the family, so I can be the kind of father I want to be and be the example. But outside of the gym, I haven't gone anywhere. Stayed home all day. Me, the wife, and the kiddo, and it's been raining. It's been nice. Kind of chill, kind of relaxing, and the way it should be. But yeah, I'm just going to spend the rest of the evening with my family, watch some TV, get this thing uploaded for you guys. Yeah, just revel in the marvel of what has blessed me today. So, happy Father's Day. Remember, take some time, assess, take an inventory, figure out where you can be better. Where do you want to be a better man? Where do you want to be a better father? Just fucking do it. Get society's views, other people in your fucking ear hole telling you what they think. You get one time to do this. Once the time's gone, it's gone. It goes by fast. Got a small window. Better fucking make it count. Okay? So, till next time, go out and be the person that you would want to meet.
Let go.
Asteroid of fear.